Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What is denied by many people but it is actually 100% real? That our memory is very fallible, and does not work like a video camera. Witness testimony is notoriously unreliable. You'll get 20 people who all saw the same thing saying 20 different things. Yep. I studied criminology and my professors made sure we truly understood that we can never trust witnesses. A lie detector isn't reliable. I'm stunned by the number of people who think it is. I see it so often in news stories about crimes. People in the comments section say, just make him take a polygraph, then we'll know for sure. Quote, if anyone's reading this, don't ever agree to take a polygraph examination if you're suspected of involvement in a crime. There's a good chance it will produce a false negative, positive. And even though the results are not admissible in court in many places, it may bias the police, the press and your friends and family against you. If police push you to submit to a polygraph examination, it's because they use it as an interrogation tool. You'd think polygraph results not being admissible in court would be a hint that they don't work. But no, I've met people who know and accept that they're not admissible, but are also convinced they're 100% accurate. So far none of these people can explain why we bother with trials and evidence and burden of proof and reasonable doubt etc. instead of just using lie detectors. If they worked, the justice system would be a hell of a lot faster. When I went to sea, I would see the occasional flying fish. It was surprising how many people thought I was pulling their leg when I told them about it. Flying fish don't have legs. Confirmation bias. Reading into a situation what you want to see. I knew someone would post this. People largely deny responsibility for anything they contribute to. No raindrop feels responsible for the flood. I'm stuck in traffic, but I'm not traffic. When visiting a place I'm not from, I like to say, I hate tourists. Psychological addiction to marijuana is a real thing. Edit. To the, you can be psychologically addicted to anything, crowd. Yes, you can treat your dopamine receptors as a gumball machine with various different activities. But these are different to imbibing a foreign substance which has the side effect of releasing dopamine. The point is many people deny that it's addictive but can't go an hour without being high. I'm sure y'all have seen burnouts. This annoys me so much. I have friends who need to smoke another bowl if we are driving 10 minutes somewhere or they'll have a problem LMAO. I'm not addicted, I just need to smoke it every 15 minutes or I get panic attacks and my brain goes into Chernobyl nuclear meltdown mode. This is especially true if you struggle with your mental health. I tried weed for the first time when I was 14 and it was an immediate relief from all of my worries and anxiety. I started smoking more frequently until it became a daily thing, but I didn't realize I was only getting high to escape from my problems. That was 5 years ago. And here I am sitting in my room, still high as fuck and still running away from my problems. And also physical addiction. Yes, the withdrawals aren't deadly, but they are there. As someone who smokes more than anyone should, it annoys the living shit out of me when stoners are claiming you can't get addicted to weed. You basically can addicted to anything. And we need to take weed addiction seriously BC, it fucks up your life in multiple ways. I'm currently working on harm reduction and smoking less BC, I'm not ready to be sober. Which is a telltale sign that addiction to weed is real. Otherwise I wouldn't have an issue with being sober. My buddy who spends $600 to $800 per month on marijuana products still claims he isn't addicted. My camp girlfriend. You wouldn't know her, she goes to another school in Canada. As someone who had an internet girlfriend from Canada who I am now married to and have children with, talking about her early on was very annoying because of this. Shaving doesn't make the hair grow back thicker. Doesn't it feel thicker because of the ends of the hair being flat instead of pointed? Yes. It also looks thicker because the flat end is so blunt instead of tapering off to look and feel thinner. I'm convinced this lie only really exists to prevent a bunch of teenage boys from running around with some raggedy ass facial hair until it can grow in well. Majority of folks aren't playing the official Uno rules. Monopoly also. Monopoly is actually a better and faster game if played by the official rules too. It's okay to eat MSG. People eat piles of it without even realizing it. But as soon as they enter a Chinese restaurant it's, no MSG for me thanks. My mother has been convinced for 30 years that she's allergic to MSG. Whenever we eat at a restaurant she has to ask them if it has MSG, and if they don't know she eats the most plain thing she can. She lives in an incredible location for seafood but eats all of her shrimp plain. When she was younger she would get incredibly sick after eating some meals, to the point of throwing up and passing out commonly. Her and my dad saw many doctors before the sixth one, who I assume is a quack, said it was MSG allergies. And she hasn't ate it since. She also hasn't had an episode except a few occasions where she forgot to ask about MSG. However, she loves tomatoes, which has a ton of MSG. And I've read studies that show that MSG allergies aren't a thing. I love MSG and even have a bag of it to add to my cooking. I'm very tempted to cook her a good meal with a good amount of MSG to show her that she can actually enjoy flavor. MSG is in nearly everything and she has to read the ingredients of everything at the grocery store. But I am absolutely not going to do that for the gotcha. So I just let her live her culinarily bland life. Edit to clarify some things. Yes, I am very well aware that there is no such thing as MSG allergy. I've read the studies years ago. Yes, I've tried showing them to my mom. No, it didn't convince her. She's committed to this false narrative. No, I'm not actually going to sneak some in her food. Even knowing it isn't real, I'm not doing that. Your mom is most likely wrong, but I would advise against food tampering. Even if you make a correct point, it will lose any trust she has with you. It's a very quick way to make someone extremely upset, and it is also illegal. Any meat, fish, shellfish contains MSG too. All the fearmongering stems from a pseudo-scientific article by a non-scientist from around 50 years ago. The dude just didn't like Chinese immigrants basically. There is also no scientifically proven case of any form of MSG allergy.